So, this video will be explanation. Now that you kind of got the gist of my upbringing, and that's pretty much like the entirety of like the stuff I'd go through, and it was just treacherous, but that's why I have problems making friends today, because I have major trust issues. I have a couple people that I do trust full-heartedly, and my bestie Bo Divine, I'll never forget that woman. That woman has put me into tears. She has said some really heartfelt things to me that not very many people have ever said. And it made me cry because it felt really good to know that I had a really good friend there that cared about who I was as a person. But where I kind of got a little defensive is because of the sexual trauma in my upbringing. She kept saying, all I want to do is eat you out, and your voice turns me on, and it's a trauma trigger. And I kept telling her, I have so much respect for you, and I love you so much, but I'm just not in that lane. I'm strictly dickly, and she's like, nobody's strictly dickly. And I'm like, you might not be, but I am. And I've learned so much from that woman. She has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I would like to believe I opened her eyes about a lot of things, or made her feel that she was proud to be friends with someone like me, or, But, I have this major fear that I can't go somewhere with somebody, because I'm afraid they're going to forget that I'm with them, or they're going to leave me there. And they're going to drive off, and they're going to be laughing and carrying on and saying, ha 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 ha, fuck that stupid bitch, or whatever. Or, let's say that we hang out for a day. I meet her, and maybe I'll cry and embarrass the fuck out of myself, because that's embarrassing to me. And then when she leaves, I'm going to automatically think that she's going to go home, and she's never going to text me again. She's never going to talk to me again. I'm never going to hear from her again. I might cry while I'm thinking this, or thinking that she's going to say all this bad stuff about me to people that when she goes home. And I'm trying to be stronger as a person, but my time on TikTok and the fact that, like, there's this epidemic with influencers going on right now that they're not being believed, and they're all doing it for clout, and they're shopping, and woe is me and all this, and I'm really not doing that. I've never actually done that, ever, in any of my mentoring or influencing, or I've done courage therapy. I've done therapy sessions with Vader, Voice of Truth. I have a whole packet on her. And I never blasted her information out the internet. I've made it known that I had a packet of her, that I've written down all this stuff, because I have to write stuff down so that I remember, and so that I can go by that to bring up other things and questions. And, I'm good at talking to people, but I gotta get to learn the person and learn their whole system so that I know where to go by. Because, I don't want to feed people bullshit. I want to really help people. And I've been trying to justify the influencers, the good ones, and making videos and just saying there are good ones out there who do really want to help people heal. But just, any journey I've ever been in, it's always been a struggle. It's always been really extremely hard work. You know, I'm the original creator of the Bratz dolls. Nobody's gonna believe me. I don't care. I don't need people to believe me to make it true. But I sent pictures into Hallmark. I think I was 18, maybe 20s, I don't know. And to see it, they were like, oh yeah, you can design cards for us, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, whatever. Even if I didn't make anything and I was just getting my art out there, you know, that was enough for me. But then they sent my stuff back, and of course I was known for making dolls with big heads, and that picture wasn't in there. And my pictures are dated back to the 2000, and you can definitely tell when ink is new ink or old ink. And so, you know, I didn't have no patent or no notaries, but the next one I did have notary. They were all notarized, every picture. You know, everybody thinks I'm so fucking stupid. They think I'm full-blown retarded. They think I'm so dumb. Like, you're not even understanding how stupid people think I really, truly am. Like, me saying that is an understatement, because it's just like, it goes so deep that people think I'm fucking full-blown retarded. But, you know, that's why I play stupid. Because people like that, I don't want them to see my smarts. I don't want them to see what I'm capable of or what I'm made of, because they're not worth seeing it. I made illustrations for an ESE teacher. Okay? Her name's Heather. And the story goes that a fisherman was fishing in a boat on the river, and he dropped his glasses into the water. And there was this fish in the water that could not see. And then the glasses fell onto his face and he could see. So I did all the illustrations of sharks and turtles and just, you know, the whole nine, you know. I still have them in a folder. One day I will post the pictures. But, or I'll post the pictures, you know, in the autobiography and show, you know, the notary is kind of like out of date, but it's there, you know. You know, these are things that I've done. You know, and no, it was not my idea to put thongs on the Bratz dolls. That was their sick, demented thing. That's disgusting. But on that note, like 2 weeks, maybe, you know, give or take some time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, month, whatever, you know, in that period, infomercials hit on the Bratz dolls. And now they're a multi-billion-dollar company. You know, I didn't even care if I didn't get the money. Because growing up, even with living in deep poverty, I've never cared really about money. I needed to survive. I needed to pay my bills. I needed to get things that I need and have to have to be able to survive through life and, you know, pay my way, basically. But, it's a mystery to me how I cannot even begin to fathom how much of a selfless person I am. I mean, yeah, of course, I got my little tiny selfish things that I like for me. You know, everybody does. You know, I'm not perfect. There's nothing about me that's perfect. I will never claim to be perfect. You know, I might look in the camera one day and make a video and go, oh, my makeup is on point. Perfect. It's makeup. That's just my personal, view. Like, oh, my makeup's on point. I love it. But, yeah. The whole Daisy Diva thing on TikTok, I'll go back to the video and discuss that in a minute, but, we were talking. I knew, like, from the beginning, she's like, I'm a Christian, and everybody who puts it out there in the beginning and on the front line that, yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm like, this could go one or two ways. Because I'm a Christian. I'm an independent Christian. I think for myself, I serve the Lord, but I'm not, like, enslaved to him, if you get me. I need to be my own person. That's just who I am. I need to be my own handler. I need to be, I got to handle me. I got to handle my business. Ain't nobody gonna do it for me, and I wouldn't want them to. But, we were conversing, text, audio calls. Well, not audio. Well, yeah, audio calls or voice clips. But, and I've never told her really about my husband. Never really talked about my, I don't know this girl like that. So, I'm not quick to put my business out there until I get to really know you. And, because I don't want, my personal information discussed around a bunch of people and, have my personal business out there. Nobody does. But she had left me a long message, and, she would always say, oh, I miss my bestie. I miss you, bestie. I miss talking to you, and, oh, I love you, and, all this stuff for weeks. And then sends me a message, oh, God says that you're a bad influence on me, and I'll pray for you, and you need to leave your husband because he's bad. He's not looking out for you, and he don't love you. Who the fuck are you? Now, that's where my territorial stuff comes in. Because who are you to sit there and tell me about someone that you have no fucking clue about? You don't know my husband from Adam. You've never seen him. You never met him. You never talked to him. You've never heard his voice. Nothing. Nothing. You have nothing to go on. I took a huge offense to that, because once you start talking about my husband, or you start talking about people that I respect, or friends, or family, or anything like that, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, I'm about to pop the fuck off, because I ain't the one. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, because this vessel can't fight, because I'm 99% sure that if I ever got hit, that would be the end of me. And I have skull fractures in my skull from Sean, which I had posted those stories. Thank God I don't have to recollect again. Those are, I seem pretty calm in those videos when I did them, but trust me, they were hard to do. And little cackle, little laughs I'd put out. It's just, I'd rather do that than cry and embarrass myself. But, it is what it is, right? But these are just my experiences. I had a friend in high school, Marley, John Witt's sister, actually. We were best friends, or at least I thought. And then one time, that scam that's going around to where, I don't remember how it goes, about the check thing. About, go get the gift card and, send me the, that kind of stuff. Well, she tried to turn me on to that. And everybody who's anybody knows, But she's like, I already got paid. I got paid like $4,000, blah, 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 blah. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't. And we got into this big argument. I'm like, I don't believe I claimed you as like one of my bestest friends, and you're trying to rope me into this because you benefit off of it. That really affected me because I thought we were close. And I knew then that it wasn't. She was about the money. She was about just being selfish and gaining. She didn't give a fuck about who she drugged down with her or who she affected. You know, me and my husband, when my husband would pick me up from high school in his car, and that was my escape, we gave her a ride home many times in his car. Like, I offered many times. You know, so, like, what the fuck? But, I'm gonna conclude this video. And until next time, I don't know why keep saying thank you for tuning in, but, you know, I have 2 talk shows, so I guess it's, you know, I've been doing this for almost 3 years, so I'll get to that, but, you know, it's, I'll get to all the stuff that I dip my hands into, but I guess it's just force of habit, so don't mind that part. But, yeah, today's a good day, but thank you for listening.